Hi everyone, I'm Sue McMullen. I'm Research Services Librarian at the University Library, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about your assignment for PSYCH369 and the use of APA Amicus Briefs. This is the course guide that I've put together for this assignment. It lists the essential resources that you will need to use, as well as information about reading legal citations, writing an annotated bibliography, APA citation style, and how to use RefWorks if you choose to use it to manage your bibliographic citations. To access this LibGuide, you can go to the library homepage and find Research Guides, and then find it listed under Psychology, PSYCH369. It is also in your Bridges course website. Just find it under Library Resources in the left menu. So this assignment has many different components to it. You will need to locate amicus briefs submitted by the APA, choose one, read the full brief and the research cited within. You will also need to find the case that formed the basis of the brief. You will need to find law review articles that analyze cases related to the topic of the brief. Cite the pertinent law that justifies the court ruling on the brief. Find articles in the popular press that reflect the popular attitudes and political climate during the time the brief was written. So let's take this one step at a time. Let's start by choosing our amicus brief. You will note that the website is first listed in alphabetical order, but you can also look at them by year or by issue. I've chosen to look at the issue of eyewitness testimony, so I'll scroll down to that, and I'm going to look at the Perry versus New Hampshire case. Here's a summary of the brief, the issue, the topic, the facts, the APA position, and the results. I'm taking note of the date because when I search the legal databases, I want to make sure that I have the right case to refer to. If I read the full text of the brief, there's a couple things that we want to take note of. Here's the table of contents. Here's the argument that we'll be analyzing. But before we get to the argument, here are the table of authorities, or references as the case may be. Here are cases that are cited, and here are other authorities that may be handbooks, books, law review articles, journal articles, and other materials. If you're trying to find any of these sources and you can't find them, just contact me and I will help you find those. If you look back on your LibGuide, locating cited research from an APA amicus brief, you'll see how to decipher this citation to tell whether it's a book, book chapter, journal, or law review example. And then it will tell you how to find those articles from the library databases. Let's go back to our brief. So after the table of authorities, we see the interest of the amicus curiae. This is why the APA took up this topic and why it was important to file this brief as it related to the professional jurisdiction of the APA. And then we get into the summary of the argument. Let's take a look at the case as it appeared in a legal database. There are two databases that we can use to find cases, Westlaw Next and Hein Online. Not only will we find the cases there, but we'll also find secondary sources and other materials. So if I search Perry v. New Hampshire, I get a list of all of the resources that are related to this case, and then I see the cases located in the center of the page. So if I want to look at Perry versus New Hampshire, I just simply click on it and I note the date was January 11th, 2012, so I know I have the right case. And then I see the whole synopsis for the case, the background, the holdings, who filed the occurring opinion, and who filed the dissenting opinion. I also see the law on which the case is based, criminal law, witnesses, so I can link into these to find out more about this rule of law that the case is based on and what the APA brief is based on. If I go up here, if I look at filings, it's kind of interesting to know, you don't have to read them all, but all of the amicus curiae from a lot of different organizations are listed here. And in this case, the APA one is number 9, and here's the brief just as we just looked at on the web a few minutes ago. What's nice is that you can also see some of these cases already linked and some of the articles linked from in here. So you don't have to go and find them. They may appear within Westlaw by itself. Now if I search this again, I just want to show you over here that you can also get to other statutes and court rules, regulations, and secondary sources. And these are law review articles, or they could be things that appeared in the American Law Reports or in American Jurisprudence, a legal encyclopedia, and so forth. So if I want to look at any of these law review articles, all I need to do is click on the title of the article. The other legal database that we might want to use is Hein Online. We can search the case in Hein Online just as we did in Westlaw Campus. Hein Online is a powerful legal database that does much more than just the cases. It has a lot of different databases listed within it. And you're going to see here a lot of different cases by the same name because it came up through the lower courts. So we need to go down to find the one that was decided on January 11th. And here we go, number 7. And here I can see the full text of the case, but without the West headnotes that referred me to the law. So it's kind of useful to use both of these together instead of just one. The nice thing about Hein Online is we can get to the Law Journal Library and other collections as we need to. And we can see the law review articles listed here. We could narrow, there's so many of them, we could narrow by location, topic, date, however we want to. If I just take a look at this one here, I will get the full text of the article as well as information about how to cite it. Over here, I can just copy and paste that into my Word document. I can download the PDF, email it, find the permanent link back to this page. Don't use the link that's up in the browser, that's temporary. So there's a lot of other different options here that were not available to me in Westlaw as well. So use both of them together to get information about your case and get access to the law review journals. Now let's take a look at the scholarly and popular literature concerning the topic of your brief. Many of you are familiar with PSYCH369, so let's just briefly run a search to kind of familiarize yourself again with it. And as you know, this is an EBSCO database, so EBSCO searches a lot of different databases, but let's look at eyewitness testimony and reliability. And because we're looking at public opinion and the research during the time of the case, let's narrow our search to 2010 to 2014. Now we remember that PSYCH369 gives us scholarly literature. So here are the results, 18 results on the reliability of eyewitness testimony. And if you remember, you can click on them. You can see access to the full text and over on the side you can see how you can cite it, export it, or get the permalink, which is the link that takes us back to the article again if we need it. It's always important to read the abstract of the article to find out if it's going to be important to your research. Now, another database that you might want to look at, because we're looking at popular articles, we might want to look at Academic Search Complete, because that's a more general database that also indexes magazines. So if we search APA or Academic Search Complete for the same dates, we can then see, in addition to the scholarly journals, we can also see magazines and newspapers. So this might give us a better insight into what the popular press was reporting on. Here's a good one, False Eyewitness, which is a 6-page article in Discover magazine that talks about false testimony, memory, and certainty of judgment. Is eyewitness testimony inherently unreliable? Here's another article that appeared in a trade journal called Trial Evidence. So these are important to your research as well. And there are a couple other databases listed here, ProQuest Central and ProQuest News and Newspapers. These are vended by ProQuest instead of EBSCO, so it's going to look a little bit different, but we can run the same search here. We can limit by date range by choosing a specific date range, and I'll just put in 2010 to 2014 and run my search. Now here I'm not searching the literature of the psychology field, and I'm searching just news and newspapers and articles that may have appeared during that time about eyewitness testimony. Here's one in the Washington Post, Eyewitness Testimony in an Imperfect World. So this is the full text of the article written in 2010. Again, I can save it, cite it, email, or print it. And I can also find other articles in scholarly journals listed under related items. So there you have it, a brief overview of how to find the resources you need for this assignment. If you would like further explanation or help, please don't hesitate to contact me. Here's all my information right here. I'd be happy to set up an individual research consultation for you via Zoom. So good luck with your assignment, and I hope to talk to you soon.